Mid-hunt, spear raised. A mammoth turns. Everything slows. Your hands are shaking. You have one throw. Miss. And your tribe starves this winter. This is what survival looked like before comfort ever existed. Level 1. Awakening. You open your eyes to a sky the color of bone. Wind scours the valley. Your breath fogs before it leaves you. You are not alone. You never were. There's a memory in your joints, a map of old roots and older scars. You feel the weight of a stone amulet at your throat. It is cold against your skin. You stand. Feet find rhythm on packed snow. Every step squeaks like a warning. The world is vast and indifferent. You must be clever to stay a moment longer. You already know what hunger sounds like. Raven calls. A distant stamp of hooves. Smoke on the horizon. You move. Slow. Quiet. Like a shadow with purpose. Your hands remember how to cradle fire. Your eyes remember how to find game. You survive because you refuse to forget. Level 2. Fire is not comfort here. It is law. You carry a spark inside your chest. A flint kiss struck fast and hard. Sparks dance like tiny suns. They land, they live, they burn. You coax smoke into flame. You feed it bone and bark. You worship it with breath and patience. It gives you light. It gives you place. It keeps the night at bay. But light draws eyes. Warmth draws teeth. You must choose when to burn, when to smolder, and when to blaze. If you blaze, predators learn your location. If you smolder, your hands freeze. You ration embers like currency. You build the fire low when the wind brings wolves. You pile it high when the frost reaches paws. You cook quickly. You share sparingly. You watch the glow for movement. A shadow slips upright. A child's laugh, brittle like ice. A warning howl. You extinguish flame with practiced care. You leave only embers for the return. Level 3. Water and shelter. Water is memory made liquid. You know the places where springs hide under stone. You know the hollows that keep frost at bay. You dig with hands until they bleed. You dig until warm earth answers. Shelter is a promise you build daily. A lean-to out of ribs and hide. A hollowed cave that smells of old smoke. You press hides together, stitch by stitch. Your fingers are maps of past winters. You listen for cracks in the rock. Snow is a friend if you can read its skin. A cornice can kill without malice. You keep away from edges that look soft. You read wind like a language. A gust that changes tells you where storms will land. You anchor your shelter to the land's bones. You bury your footprints when you must. You keep water under skin, slow and guarded. Ice you melt with stones in hand. Steam is coin. You spend it only to cook or wash. You hoard warmth the way others hoard story. Shelter is not walls. It is cunning. Level 4. Food and hunt. The landscape is a ledger, and you are always in debt. You hunt to pay it. You study tracks, ankle-torn prints, dragging marks, the direction of last breath. You set snares as if writing traps into the earth. You bait with bones and scent memory. You become still. Your heart learns to wait like a predator. You learn the seasons of herds. You learn that the mammoth travels at dawn and dusk. You learn the fox will steal from the lazy. You learn to be patient with your own hunger. Hunting is choreography between life and necessity. Sometimes you must run with the herd. Sometimes you must run from the herd. Sometimes you wait until the storm has blinded them. When you strike, it is swift. You aim for the light inside the rib cage. You aim for breath that stops. You honor the animal with clean hands. You strip hide with reverence. You take marrow like sacrament. You rub fat into wounds, into tools, into tinder. You barter meat for information with neighboring bands. You trade stories and hides and sometimes your silence. Food keeps you human, but the hunt can turn on you in a heartbeat. A boulder dislodges, a trapped limb snaps, a spear jerks free and you bleed. You bind deep and see stars through a laced vision. You lay warm hands over a wound and promise yourself breath. You survive because you do not forgive mistakes. Level 5. Tribe and Alliances. Alone, you are easy prey. Together, you become a rumor. You move between fires, between faces of kin. You remember the faces that taught you how to sharpen a blade. You carry the names of those gone like stones in your mouth. Loyalty is currency as sharp as obsidian. You trade watch hours at night. You teach a child to stitch a hide. You learn to read the moods of elders. A tribe is a web of fragile threads. One broken strand ripples to the edge. Jealousy breeds like mold in close quarters. You guard your words. You share your fire when trust is earned. Alliances stretch across ridges. You meet other bands in neutral ground. You bring gifts, a bead, a finely flaked point, a story that makes them laugh. Sometimes they bring knives, sometimes they bring songs, sometimes they bring war. You watch faces when they offer bread. You watch hands when they tuck a blade under a cloak. You read gifts like prayers. You learn that diplomacy can be more lethal than a spear. You learn when to smile and when to sharpen. Level 6. Predators and Sky. The world is a predator field. Not all hunters wear fur. Ice storms can swallow a valley whole. Disease rides quietly on shared water. A child coughs at night, and you taste the metallic hint. You pace the fire like a caged animal. You check pulses like a ritual. You have enemies who do not breathe. Sunlight fails sometimes. The sky goes red and ash falls like confetti of doom. You have seen birds fall in quivering heaps. You have felt the ground hum as something vast passed. Your only weapon is adaptation. You fashion masks of leather. You seal shelters tight. You keep ember healers close. You do not ignore the small signs. You watch for limp tails, discoloration of bone. You abandon places that taste wrong. You move like a shadow across a chessboard. Every step is an assessment. Every breath is an argument with fate. You stand at the lip of a new season. You could follow the herd south. You could stay and bury the old bones. Every choice is a ripple in a frozen pond. You breathe. You pick up your spear. You choose. You survive because you decide to be more than prey.